Hey guys, Mistmaster1 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Mario & Luigi Partners in Time. So, last time we made our way into Star Shrine after getting through the whole space ordeal outside of this area right here, and we ran into Toadbird and Kylie Koopa. As you saw right here, they took the Lakitu Express, which pretty much got them right here to where they need to be when we couldn't use that in the entire time. And we have the 5 Cobalt Star Shards in this area now, but Toadbird does not want us to form it because bad things will happen, and it's really we're unaware of like what he's talking about. So we're pretty much just gonna have to go on farther and relocate him so we can ask him exactly why it's such a bad thing. Before we continue on with this episode, I just want to make a note right here. Off screen, I grinded a little bit just to keep myself up to level with this, and I have all my characters up to level 23, and they're on the verge of getting to level 24 in the near future, so just to let you in on that. And we actually have a character that is 100 HP now. Adult Luigi is now the proud owner of 3 digits of hit points, and that's a nice little sign for him because he's pretty much the character most of the time, unless you really do something weird. He's gonna have the most HP, but you know, just a cardinal rule. Now, before we continue any farther, because this area is honestly really short, so I need to say this now. And there are 3 types of enemies we can find in this area, and we've encountered all of them already. We can find I was gonna mix up my words. We can find Wonder Thwacks, Piranha Planets, and Love Bubbles. Also enemy from Star Hills, so technically it's still part of the same area, but you know, whatever. And unlike the last few videos, we're actually gonna have some battles in this, so you know what? Oh, I meant to get an attack on them, but that works too. Besides, it'll give us more of an idea of how to fail at fighting them, apparently. It'll give us more action in this episode because there's only one major thing that's going to be happening this episode, and that might be, I mean, it is major, so it wouldn't be really underwhelming, but to give this video a little bit of length, I think I'll actually just throw this in for the hell of it. And also, we really haven't seen any fights in a really long time, so I might as well throw them in here. So here we have, this is actually an attack that we never got to see, and I'm doing an amazing job dodging today. The Piranha Plant will shoot out mini piranha, like, you know, like, what would you even call those things? Like cardboard cutouts. And depending on the order, it's kind of hard to judge when he's going to start shooting them, but once he does, it pretty much goes in order of when he shows them while they're coming out. And it goes clockwise, so that's how you judge that. Love Bubbles, we pretty much went over everything that they have, and they're honestly they're the easiest enemies that we can deal with here. And can we just, there we go, okay, hit him. Speaking of knocking enemies up in the air like that, remember that for a thing coming up in the near future, because it will be relevant. Alright, so there's our first battle in, like, 4 videos, I think, so we haven't really seen any action, like, in a couple of months, probably, judging by my upload schedule. And look at this, we have a Wonder Thwack on top of that. These guys are really hard to get a preemptive strike on. We almost got it there, but we failed still. And judging by this encounter, I am not looking forward to this. The best encounter the best choice for this encounter would be to use Mixed Flowers. I'm not sure if I've showed this off yet. Actually, I probably have with our last boss fight. Sorry, I need to focus there because I was just like really... It's really hard to do that and talk at the same time. Ow. Okay. See, and like I said in earlier videos, how you have to wait a little bit before you actually attack these guys, but with the hammer because they're a little high in the air when they first come over to you. But you will see that when we did that move, Mixed Flowers, that it actually did like 1 damage to the red guys. It's because Mixed Flowers is a fire-based attack, and they actually do have weaknesses. Elemental weaknesses depending on their color. If they're blue, they're weak to fire, and if they're red, they're weak to ice. So just a little thing right there to explain why we didn't do that much damage at all with that attack on some of them. But as you saw, it pretty much devastated the other guys. If they're weak to something, they do quite a lot of damage. Mixed Flowers is one of the strongest attacks in the game. It's actually debatably the strongest if you can do a well combo of it. I think we're going to level up Mario's power, and we're going to try to go for that 6 I see there. Got a 6, very nice, okay. And Luigi gets level 24. I see, I told you guys these guys were on the verge of leveling up again right after. We can go for his power too. And we got a 1, go figure. Poor Luigi, he doesn't get anything good. Okay, so now those enemies are out of the way, we actually have the main part of the area. And the way this works, they're actually too far in, you have to keep these guys out. and you have to crush them like so, return to normal, and then hurry up because this does not last very long. In fact, we're probably gonna have to do 2 trips just because in order to show off everything here. Bag has a coin box with just singular, like, small coins in it, so it's like literally 1 coin per hit, and it gives you like 5 coins, so it's not worth it to go after that. You're supposed to go to the right there on that little fork, but we're gonna go over here because there's some items that we can't get if we go the other way first. You see there's like a little gate over there? That's where we're actually supposed to go, but for the time being we go in here, and we can get 50 coins right here, and in this one we can get a hit-free badge, which I really haven't done anything with my equips lately, but I'll organize that for the next video because honestly I did a practice and whatever I have equipped right now is good enough, so... Actually, speaking of that, let's just check our equips real quick. Clothing, I mean, we don't have to check our clothing, but for badges, we have Big Pow, Hit Pow badge for the Luigis, Treasure badge, and Dynamic badge. Okay. Just a little heads up if you were curious what my loadout was if you're playing along. Because that loadout seems to be completely, you know, fine with this area for now. For the final area, we will need to do some preparations, and I probably will change stuff for that because it's like the last real moment to really set up for anything in this game. But that's for another time, so let's not talk about that now. Anyway, we make our way all the way up here, and what we can do right here is switch into the spinning mode and use the hammer drill, and we can come into this little underground part. Not really underground, but just like inward place. And we can hit this red button right here, and it pulls out, or pushes out rather, a green platform there. So once we've done that, climb back up. We are going to drill back underneath, and we are going to relocate. So drop back down, and let's combine it to 4 again, so we have a chance against enemies now, because of course, just the pairs of 2 alone aren't a good choice for fighting. And plus we need them to continue on the game, so go figure. Now we want to use the spin attack here. This is a little bit of a puzzle. Spin the babies all the way over to this green platform right here. Switch back over to the adult bros to use a spin attack over here. You can have them just jump to this platform, grab the babies, and there you go. That's how you progress through that. A little bit of a puzzle, but not really anything, like, ridiculous. And I forgot that the blue thwacks are kind of slower in general, so I was actually too early for that attack, which was kind of, like, you know, you don't hear me complain about being too early for an attack usually. That was a really bad mixed flower, but if they're weak to the thing, it's not even going to make a big deal anyway. Mixed flower is a very powerful move. The only reason it just doesn't work, like I said, is because they're pretty much red, which is like the fire element. And it's a fire-based attack, so it really doesn't do anything. So speaking of that, let's get rid of the red guy right now while he's still a threat, because we can't actually hurt him. Not that I'll do that again, because mixed flowers is the most... I wouldn't say it's the rarest, but I mean it's the most powerful, so don't waste them most of the time. Like right here, we got a red guy, so never mind. Actually, and he's turning the blue, so maybe not. Actually, this is perfect. Now we can use mixed flowers, because this will make the fight go a lot faster. Mixed flowers. I'm pretty sure I've explained this move already, but if not, oh my god, that was completely horrible, but even just like a horrible one can kill them really easily. I cannot talk and do that move at the same time. I am sorry, guys. If I haven't explained that move, which I'm almost sure I have at this point, basically it's pretty much switching between all 4 of the bros, Mario and Luigi, adult and young. And while that's happening, you pretty much get the power and you have to mash that button over and over again, and all over time it creates this giant fireball in the sky, and then once it gets too low for pretty much, you know, to continue on, and it just has to give out, it will drop and it will do an amount of damage based on how many times you've done that, so pretty self-explanatory. And I really don't need to say any more than that, and I would highly recommend, before we step on that switch, would be in our best interest to make sure that we're fully healed. And now that I've done all that, it's time we step on this switch, and guys, prepare for, well, you can guess what's coming. Yoinks! Oh no, we found them, but it doesn't sound good. What's going on? You guys look horrible. Monster! Danger! The Cobalt Star! What's up, guys? Mario, my sketch. Your sketch? The sketch I drew. The answer is there. The hidden answer. I guess we can actually finally find out what he's trying to talk about. Rub the sketch, the dirt smudge, rub it. And guys, this is the first time and the only time we have to do this, but we actually have to use our stylus. And look at this, we got our own little thing here, and we pretty much have to scribble around on this dirt, but look at this. This is a picture of, what is it? This is the Princess and Princess Shroob, but Princess Peach and Princess Shroob, that is, but what is he talking about? We can clearly see right here that there's nothing strange about this. This is the image that we've seen before, like way back, when it showed Princess Peach with the Cobalt Star trying to defeat the Shroobs. I mean, we're just scribbling around, not really finding anything, so I don't know what... Wait a minute. What is that? There's something smudged up already. What in the world is this? Look at this. What? There's... What is that thing in the bottom right? Mario, what you see there is... Wait. What is that? Oh my god, what is that? What the fuck? It just turned all of them into shrooms. This is not good. And guys, you guessed it, it is time for our next boss fight. This is actually one of the last boss fights in the game, so we won't be hearing this music for too much longer. Now guys, we actually have a decent amount of detail to go into this fight, so let's get underway. Here we have Elder Shrooboid, and his sets. His HP is 1750, power is 140, 150 defense, 66 speed. He gives 1500 experience and 400 coins. Now there's more details to come for him later, but I'll explain that as the fight goes on. So the first things first, like always, we're gonna use our ice flowers and pretty much try to lower his stats. So first off, let's just try to do this. It's a good idea, and there's always a good idea to pretty much use this because there's no downside to it unless it's like an ice enemy. And here's his first attack where you pretty much have to mash A and B, and you want to get out of this little thing he has right here. And we see he has that chain right there that has an A, or not an A, but it has, I just failed to dodge too. And goddamn, I'm bad at timing, but he does have that wrecking ball which he throws depending on the character it is, and it was a red M, so one for Mario, and then he'll die for the other character. But on the bright side, we see that the only thing we haven't lowered is his speed, so he is susceptible to a decent amount of attacks. Now, I'm warning you right now. If you look very closely on top of him, I'm not going to do this because it'll be a waste of a turn that can actually hinder us. There are spikes on top of his head, so if you have any jumping attacks, like, just for example, we have Pocket Chomps, we have Cannonballers, Trampolines, Copy Flowers, all those are useless against him. Mixed Flowers honestly doesn't do a whole lot to him. I mean, it kind of does, but at the same time, it's really not worth it. So the best choice in all of this, even though I hate using it, is the red shells. I suppose you can use green shells too, but these red shells are actually more powerful, I believe. So we're just going to use those, and I'm not going to focus on using Baby Luigi's attack. We're just going to try to keep it volleying for as long as we can. Like so, and just hope for the best. Not too shabby. How much? 176? That's not amazing damage, but, you know, we could always do better. You know what? Fuck it, let's use Mixed Flowers because we need some firepower here. Let's see how much that does. 364. Now that's the damage that we need. So, and he has fireballs. I am not prepared for this because he didn't do this in practice. Goddamn, I'm rusty on my knowledge. I mean, I know what he does, but I'm just not used to. I just did a run of this guy, and he didn't use some of these attacks, and by some I mean just like that last attack. So, I don't know. I really want to hold off on using Mixed Flowers, but we can't jump on him, so most of our attacks are useless. Red Shells doesn't do a whole lot. Let's try to use Ice Flowers again, because let's see if we can lower his speed. Lowering his speed would be, it sounds like it just did, because we hear like that noise, and that means that a stat is decreased from him, so it looks like his speed's decreased now too. Yes, it is. Good. Okay, and now I think we'll use Mixed Flowers yet again, so let's try for this. I have to focus for this, because it's really hard to keep up. That was really shitty, but whatever. 119, not very good. And I am just failing my dodges today. This is a sloppy boss fight, dude. Thankfully, since I'm a decent level, he's not completely, like, demolishing me, so I can afford to fuck up a lot. Let's go for red shells. I mean, this is... You can use your other attacks later in the fight, but for right now, you're pretty much limited, so... What are you gonna do? 250 damage, though, that's pretty good. And let's, again, for good measure, let's use the red shells yet again. And of course, to remember that the badge Mario has on, the dynamic badge, I believe it is, since he has that, it gets a double damage effect for the bros items, but it uses 2 up, so that's why Luigi's is not as strong as when we use it from him compared to Mario. That wasn't too bad of a volley, 220, yeah, pretty good. I cannot dodge his fire today, dude. I am so fucking bad. And I'd appreciate if he did more moves than just, like, you know, fire, because this is, like, coming into a complete spam fest. Let's use our Ultra Drops. I don't use these items enough, plus I'd rather save the items. I mean, in general, we have a crap load of healing items right here. Actually, I'm stupid. I should have used this. Let's use the, red peppers to boost our strength even farther. Okay, now this is a new move that I will need to talk about later, but it's not really important right now. I mean, it kind of is because of the after effect that it does at the moment. But you saw right there was a spinning ball, and since we knocked it up in the air, notice how when Luigi hit it, it went straight up? If Mario were to hit that, it would actually send it farther to the right instead of straight up, and that's important to know for later. And if you actually manage to hit the spike ball, he will fall over. And the best part about that means you can actually use copy flowers, and you can use your jump attacks on him while he's in this phase, so we can actually do a lot of damage right now. So I need to focus because... Oh! Never mind, I guess we're good. And he's defeated. That boss was really easy, except this happens! He turns into a giant version of the enemy we were just fighting, and he summons... little flying saucer above us, and what could that possibly mean? And... Damn it, dude. You have to try to reflect that. Oh, now this is important. Let's see. Come on. Oh, come on. Don't fuck it up. There we go. Now that's really important to know right there. But forget, like, the hammer attack that I was doing right before that. But you notice how when that ball was spinning around, I told you to be noticing how when Luigi hits it, it goes straight up. That was the important thing to note right there, because when he hit it straight up, it hit the saucer. And when the saucer is in that position right now it's in, like to the right, you want Mario to hit it. And when you hit it, it resets the counter back to 4. And if that counter reaches 0, you actually automatically lose the fight, so that's really bad. So just a thing of notice. And if that happens to happen, then that's really bad. You lose the fight instantly. But another thing to note before we continue on with this fight is that now that Elder Shroob has changed phases, this is actually a second phase. His current stats now go back to, for phase 2, 1200 HP, 200 power, 150 defense, which is the same as last phase. He has a 51 speed, and obviously the experience and the coins are the same, 1500 experience and 400 coins. Now that I've explained that, we can pretty much carry on with the fight like it's supposed to, and since he has no more stat debuffs, I think it's a good idea to use some ice flowers against. Let's do that. Alright, we got a critical hit on that too, and his speed got lowered. That's not bad, but you know what, screw it. He's down for the count right now, so we really need to take the advantage while it lasts and use copy flowers right now, so let me focus so I can get a large combo off this guy right now. Is he seriously dead after that? Wow. I did not give him a chance to do fucking anything in that phase. I pretty much just destroyed him with that combo right there. But yeah, just be careful, because if that saucer above you does drop down to 0, you will lose the fight automatically. It will pretty much KO you with maximum damage. And there we go, guys. We defeated Elder Shroob, and we are pretty much down to the last few bosses of the game now. That was one of the last fights, and look, he had the 5th Cobalt Star Shard. He stole it from them. And guys, we have collected all the Cobalt Star Shards, except for the fact that we don't know where the other 4 is. You remember it ran off last episode. That is the shard that was in Toadbird's possession, if I'm not mistaken. I presume that monster attacked them hoping to take it for its own. Well, it got defeated, so it ended up backfiring. Poor Toadbird, poor Kylie, this is a travesty. I think I got turned into Shroobs. there's nothing we can do for them now, is there? Where did the rest of the Cobalt Star go blastering off anyway? Or splastering off to? And it turns out it's right here. So you know what that means? Oh, happies. Happies. What a relief to see it return unharmed. Now, guys, we can put this apart, and look at that. We now have all 5 Cobalt Star Shards in our possession. Indeed, now the number of Cobalt Star Shards in our possession totals to 5. According to my calculators, we should now have access to the Shroob Castle. And you know what that means, guys. Back to adventure! If we rescue Princess Peach and defeat the Shroobs, we may be able to re-totify these two. Well, I don't know if Kylie Koopa would want to be re-totified, but, you know, we'll see if she can deal with it. So, let's go and check our Cobalt Star Shard collection right now. We do have all 5 of them, but it seems like a part of it's still missing. Like, there's a centerpiece to this that we're not getting, but... who knows. We have all 5 Cobalt Star Shards. That's what our mission was. Unfortunately, these 2 are turned into Shroobs now, and mushrooms, whatever you want to call them. Just Shroobs because they're not really alive yet, but they could turn into the army, and that's really bad. But we pretty much finished up the Star Shrine area, and guys, we now can enter Shroob Castle, which means we can pretty much go to where Princess Peach was in the beginning of the game. Or like way earlier in the game, I showed that you could go to the Shroob Castle, but there was nothing we could do in it since we didn't have 5 Cobalt Star Shards, and that's pretty much going to be saved for next time. In the next episode, I'm just going to end this off here, and this is pretty interesting. Check this out. This actually leads to the sewers, just like how the one to Toad Town did, but I'm not sure, like, I believe this would be inaccurate, or like, it just wouldn't be active, like, earlier in the game until you've reached that part, because that would just be really dumb if you could, like, jump in this, and then you could go to the end of Star Shrine, like, as soon as you got the ability to go underground, so that's probably locked off until this moment in time. But I think I'll just make it up to, what is it? I do have some business I may look forward to doing in the next episode, and I might actually do some stuff off screen to prepare for it. But for the most part, we're pretty much all set. I mean, there's still some loose ends that I haven't done that I need to clear up, like, in between now and before we go to Shroob Castle. But for the most part, we've done everything in the main story, and the only thing really left to do is to actually go and save Princess Peach now that we have everything in our possession to go and try to save her. So, I think I'll just go into this room that it wants us to be in, which is, what is it? Professor Egad, but we're not going to talk to him, we're actually going to leave it to next time. So I'm going to leave the episode off here, and that'll be it, guys. So, I've been Mr. Astro, and thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 30 of Let's Play Mario & Luigi Partners in Time, and I'll see you guys in episode 31 for where we prepare for the end, and we might actually be doing the final area, but I'll figure that out off screen. So, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more content coming soon, and I will see you guys in episode 31. For pretty much the beginning of the end of Partners in Time. This LP has been going on for far too long, but we're going to really start finishing up very soon. So join me in the next episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Later, guys.